We're going to be talking about how to make sure your keywords are correct and populated in SAM and DSBS. In this case, it's in the dynamic small business search tool. If you're not aware, your small business profile is made up of your SAM.gov registration or entity and your DSBS profile. This is the extra pages that add together with SAM to create your small business profile. Inside of DSBS, there's a particular section for keywords, and I'm going to talk to you about them. Right now, the example I'm going to use, I'm showing 1,000 records out of the 300,000 or so small businesses in SAM. And I'm showing the 1,000 that are actually 8A and HubZone certified. It's just an easy group for me to show you this example of what I'm talking about. So inside of here, if you don't know this dynamic small business search tool in SAM, your small business profile is the #1 place the federal government uses to find small businesses like yours. If your keywords are missing, if you have no keywords, you're invisible to the federal buyer. If you have minimal keywords, you're invisible on half of the potential keywords. So, for example, if you sold tractors and you only wrote the word tractor down, you're only going to be found if they search for tractor. But if you wrote down John Deere and then tractor, you would be found by John Deere, which is a manufacturer of tractors, and when they search for tractor. So there's a lot of words, and I'm going to go into them in a minute, but really I'm just trying to point out today's lesson that you need to go into the dynamic small business search tool and see if you have all the keywords in there that you should have. I want to use a quick example here. This is a company, I think it's MacPar Corporation. Um, they're on here, it's public, so I get to use it and it's fun. But also, this company is the one in the 8As and HubZones that has the most keyword characters, and I'll talk about that in a minute. So these guys are an 8A HubZone woman-owned firm doing a lot of good stuff, and I just want to come down here and talk about where keywords are. In your profile, there's actually 3 fields that are keywords, even though one field is actually called keywords. So right here, you see at this bottom section, it's a field called keywords. That's where you can drop some keywords in, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But there are 2 other fields, capability narrative and special equipment material. Those are also searched when somebody types in a keyword, like in this particular case, these guys are a cybersecurity firm. If they type in, if a federal market researcher types in cybersecurity, the computer or the tool will look into the capability narrative, it'll look into the special equipment material, and it'll look into keywords. So all together, these fields add up to 2,500 characters. And that means, for those of you who aren't totally tech savvy, every letter, every space, every comma is a character. And so, for example, in keywords in this field, you have the ability to type in 525 characters. This stuff that I'm highlighting at the moment is 505 characters, as you'll see in a second. So you want to make sure that you have yours. And that's, again, the task that I'm giving you that'll take 15 minutes. Let me show you this data in a spreadsheet. So I just downloaded the exact same data. And so here's the company names. That's MacPar I was just looking at. Here's their keyword field, just that one field. And they have 505 characters. That's pretty darn good. You have 525 characters potential. And so they're basically maxing it out. They could have put another 20 characters in there, but these guys are doing a great job. Now, let me just show you some just horrifying details in here that I just wish you would go change on your business. If I can't change every business, I just want to change yours. There's companies out there that are 8A firms and HubZone, and they have 0 keywords. So you can see in the bottom right, 10%, so 91 out of 958, 10% of the companies have 0 keyword characters at all. That means anything these guys are good at. These guys went to all the trouble to create an 8A firm, which is a fantastic small business program that enables you to do business development together with the SBA to get federal contracting. But if the contractor officer searches for these companies, 91 of them aren't going to be found. And I'm being generous here when I say 91, because if I go here to the filter and I say less than equal to, remember I said 525 characters. So let's just say less than equal to 200 characters. And you've got 467, 50%, more than 50% of the companies aren't using even half the characters that they could. And the reason this is really important is because right here, just pulling this company out as an example, these guys say project, just so you know which one I'm on, project management, IT security, other words. Right here is a good example. It says cybersecurity as two different words. I don't know if you can see it there, right where my mouse is. So cybersecurity is two words. One thing they could put in there is cybersecurity as one word, and they could also put in cyber hyphen security. And the reason I recommend that is because this tool is not smart enough to find cybersecurity as one word if you have it entered in as two words. Anyways, but what if there's other stuff that they could put in? They could put in NIST or some of the other cyber regulations. They've got things like systems design. Do they do systems engineering? I don't know if they actually have it here, but yeah, system integration, system design. What about system engineering? They've got DIA CAP. I don't know what that is, but surely they could spell it out. And I'm not, I'm just picking on Carter Enterprise here. I'm sure they're a good company. They had to go through a lot to get their 8A certification, but they're only using half or less than half of the available space for keywords. The number one way this tool is used is somebody types in a keyword. Whatever that keyword is around your business needs to be in here so that when the market researcher or the federal buyer types it in, your company is one of the ones that come back in this results page that I had here, right? So here are all the results, and you can imagine Red Peak and My Tire, however you say that. I mean, they're not going to get found, but again, they have to be good companies in order to become 8A. They had to show that they have business and they're doing some stuff. They have a business plan. They know what they want to do. This is just one little mistake that people are making out there. It takes you 15 minutes. And a reminder, here's the task. Go to DSBS, Dynamic Small Business Search. So you see this DSBS on this button, dsbs.sba.gov. That's the site you go to. It'll be a search page in fact, let me just show you what it looks like. It's a search page that looks like this. Scroll down to the bottom. And this takes 1 minute, right? Fixing it takes the 15 minutes, but this search takes 1 minute. Type in your cage code, your DUNS number, or if you don't know that, you can type in your company name, part of it, to find your company, and then look in there and say and find out if you are if you have a full profile in there. I want to just pull up one more of these companies just to expand on this tip a little bit. Come on, load faster. Sorry, it's taking a minute. But what I want to point out is make sure that you're actually using the capability narrative. And so let me come down here. See this capability narrative? Companies do this often, and it's not just this one company I'm showing. Many companies do this. Where in the narrative they put some keywords, and then if you scroll down to this field, several of them are the same thing. Look at those two fields and make sure you're maximizing the space, beginning with this field here by getting 525 characters in there. When you do that, you'll increase your likelihood of being found